What's up everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video I will show you how you can automate any TradingView strategy without coding. There are other videos on YouTube showing you how to do that, but you always have to code something, you have to duplicate the code and add some line items. In this video I will show you how you can keep the strategies exactly as they are and how you can automate them to actually trigger buying and selling on your exchange. Now why is that awesome? Is because there are quite interesting and profitable strategies on TradingView, which I will show you as well, which can make you quite good profits on, for example, Bitcoin. And in this video, I will focus on Bitcoin only because it's quite easy to understand. Everyone knows what it is. And I will apply these strategies on Bitcoin to show you how they work. And then we're going to look at how to automate the whole thing to actually buy and sell on your exchange. And at the very end, I have a big bonus for you, which you will only appreciate if you watch the whole video. Otherwise, that bonus will not make a lot of sense. All right, eyes on the screen. And as always, if you hear anything useful in this video, you feel inspired, it helps you, it makes you money, which is the whole point of this video, then of course hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content about trade automation, because I'm quite hyped about it right now. Take advantage of that, subscribe and hit the bell. Get your coffee, you know how it works on this channel, and let's go. Damn, I almost messed up my shirt. I want to start with TradingView and I want to show you how you can find strategies that are actually profitable that someone else has written, but they have made it public and free to use. And after you found the strategy that you like, I will show you how you can automate it to actually buy and sell on your exchange. This is of course not financial advice. I'm just showing you how you can do it if you choose to do it and with the strategy that you choose to use. I do automate my own money with strategies that I have developed myself, but you have to decide if this is for you or not, which is why I'm making this video. So let's go. In order to see what I see, you need to go to tradingview.com. There is a link down below and you need to go to products and then click on super charts. That is their main product, which you can use to analyze charts and to also apply strategies. So click on that. And what you will see here is not the chart that we need. We want to go to Bitcoin. So what you have to do is to click on the search icon over here on the top left and just type in BTC USD and then pick the index chart. Now you're on the Bitcoin chart. And if you want to zoom in and out of the chart, you can use the wheel on your mouse to zoom out by scrolling down and zoom in by scrolling up. Also make sure that you are on the 1 day chart. It's best to click on the small arrow and click on 1 day to be super sure that you are on the 1 day chart where each candle represents 1 day. Sometimes people find themselves on the 1 minute with a small m, and that's pretty bad because that's not going to work for most strategies. So take care. And now comes the fun part where we search for a strategy that is actually profitable on Bitcoin. But first, coffee time. I'm such an addict. All right, go with your mouse to the indicators tab and click on it. And now type in strategy. Strategy because it will search all the strategies that already exist on TradingView, developed by somebody on the internet. This first section here you can ignore because those are the strategies that I have developed myself, which you will not be able to see. So the first section you will see is technicals. And here you can see RSI strategy, MACD strategy, greedy strategy, bar up and down strategy, momentum strategy, and so on. And you can take all of these and you can use them on Bitcoin or other assets and see if they produce any profit. If they do that, you can decide to automate it. And I guess if you watch this video, you already want to know how to automate a strategy. So let's take the super trend strategy because it's quite good actually on Bitcoin. It's not the best, but it's quite good. And I can show you how to automate it without having to code any single line and without having to manipulate the strategy itself like other videos show you. So basically, I make it quite easy for you. Let's click on the super trend strategy to add it to our chart. All right, as you can see, something happened in the background. The strategy is now applied on the chart, and also the strategy tester from TradingView has opened up and gives us the profit and other things. Now let's close this search window to see exactly what happened over here. So you can see the strategy from the beginning of Bitcoin's time made 6,408% profit with a max drawdown of 15%, which is very good actually. Everything below 20% in crypto I think is great. Then also you had a 48% chance of winning a trade. That's okay for the profit it made. It's not the best strategy that exists because, for example, I've created a strategy that makes 638,000% profit with only almost 18% drawdown, which is very good in my opinion, but that's a different topic. And this strategy is not available on TradingView for everyone to use. So let's go back to the ones that are available to use, which already make great profit, and let's learn how to automate them. Going back to the super trend strategy, let's hide all of this text on the chart because it's very confusing. So for that, click on the cog over here, go to style and just hide the signal labels and also the quantity and click OK. Now the chart looks a bit cleaner, and what you can see here is basically basically the blue arrows are the buying signals and the red arrows are the selling signals. All right. And so what happens here is that it's buying here and selling here, then buying here and selling here, buying here and selling here. And as you can see, sometimes it's also losing a trade, like for example, this one here where it lost 13%, or for example, this one here where it lost almost 4%. But funny enough, it's still better to lose 4, 5, 6% once in a while than to incur a massive drawdown, for example, when the bear market starts. So most people didn't sell, not at the top, but let's say here they could have sold at 56 or 50,000 and they didn't. So they had a drawdown of 70%, which is not great in any universe. Instead, using this strategy, the max drawdown was only 15%. So the maximum loss that somebody who uses this strategy has gotten was 15%, not 70, not 50, right? So it's way better to use this strategy, for example, than not having any strategy. Now, how can we automate this strategy and how can we send those signals to our exchange? That is the topic of the next section of this video. And for that, we need to go to my nice diagram showing how to connect all these things together so that we don't have to code anything. Now, let me zoom in here. First of all, you have TradingView, which is the tool where the strategy is running, which we have looked at before. All right. And then you want to send those signals to your exchange. And the best thing would be if you can send it directly to, let's say, ByBit or Kraken or so on. But let's take ByBit as an example because it has great features for that. But sadly, you cannot send signals directly from TradingView to your exchange. You need to do something else in between. Now, what you have to do is you have to send the signal to Make, because Make can then allow you to distinguish between a buying and a selling signal. Once it is clear if the strategy wants to buy or sell, then we are sending it to a tool called WunderTrading. I will show you exactly. And this tool is where you connect your exchange. It supports many exchanges. And then because it's clear that you have a buy and a sell signal separated from each other, then now you can say buy and you can say sell, which will happen automatically when this whole chain of events will play out. We're going to set all of these things up. So make sure to create yourself accounts for TradingView, for Make, for WunderTrading, and whichever exchange that you want to use. I recommend to use ByBit. There is also a link down below that is an affiliate link, by the way. So if you want to help me out, click on that. All the links to these tools are below in the video description. So you can just click on them, quickly create accounts. And after you have all the accounts set up, you come back here with the coffee and motivation, and I will show you how to connect them. And by the way, you also have access to this diagram that is behind me because I will make it public and also link it down below. You're welcome. All right, first go to make.com and log in. I will do that now in hyperspeed. All right, I have a free account. I go to scenarios and I go to create new scenario. Now here, what you need to create is something called a webhook. So click on the fat plus and type in webhook over here. Oops, webhook. And then click on webhooks and create a custom webhook is the second option from the top. And now it will ask you to create a new webhook and click on add and give it a name. I call it TradingView notifications. No IP restrictions, click on save. And what happens now is that this is waiting for you to send the first signal to it. So it actually understands what you will be sending to it. How would the payload look like? And leave it like that. Don't click any button. The only thing that you need to do is copy the address to the clipboard. This is an internet address that when you call it, it will trigger this webhook. So copy the address by clicking this gray button here. And now go back to TradingView where we can set up an alert so that you can actually send the signal here to this webhook. Okay, back in TradingView, what you have here is your strategy and you should be seeing what I see over here. And you want to send signals as fast as possible. And I know I told you before to be on the 1-day chart, but if we want to get the signal as fast as possible to set it up quickly, then we should go on the 1-minute chart just for the setup. Afterwards, of course, we're going to go back to the 1-day chart, but we need to tell the webhook how the payload looks like. And we don't want to wait for the next buy signal that can come in weeks or days. So let's make it a bit faster. All right. So click the arrow again and go to the 1-minute chart. And on the 1-minute chart, this strategy is not profitable or not significantly because from the beginning of time of Bitcoin, it made only 2.8%. So this is just for testing and setup purposes. Keep that in mind. Do not let this alert stay as it is after the setup. Okay, so you are on the 1-minute chart. You can zoom in again by scrolling with your mouse up and you're waiting for the next signal. Now, let's click on the alert button to add an alert. And what happens here is that because this is a strategy in TradingView, it will send all the buying and selling signals via an alert. But you don't know yet exactly what will be the payload and what kind of text will be in there. So first of all, we need to send a proper signal and see what is in there to have a look. And then we can automate it. So what you have here is super trend strategies. That's the condition when to trigger this alert. Then you can give it a name. And usually what I do is first I put the name of the strategy. So it's called super trend. Then I put the asset that I'm trading, Bitcoin. And then I put the time frame. And this is 1 minute. And that's quite useful because if you find an alert that says 1 minute in your list of alerts, you know exactly you need to take care of that and pause it or remove it after your testing is over. Okay, having said that, let's go to the message. You can delete whatever is in there and you can copy from the video description the text that I will paste into this, which is a JSON, which is perfect for what we're doing. All right, so what happens here is that this is a JSON that will send a ticker and the action buy sell into make so that you can then use it for other things. And these are placeholders that TradingView supports to put in whatever it's doing in that moment. So for example, ticker is important because you will have multiple make scenarios and you want to make sure they don't get mixed up. So if you have a scenario that should trade Bitcoin in make, and let's say you make a mistake and somehow you send the Ethereum signal there, then it should ignore that and not do anything. That's why the ticker is in there, just for double checking in your make scenario. And this other placeholder here called strategy.order.action is sending the buy and sell signals. But is it buy and sell or is it open and close, long, short? We don't know. Depending on the strategy, these strings might be different. And that's why we need to send a test to see how it actually looks like. Now, go to the notifications and make sure that you activate the webhook URL over here. If you don't have a paid subscription, the cheapest one by the way, then you cannot create a webhook alert, which is unfortunate. So go ahead and create a subscription. It will definitely pay out. So once you have that, you click on webhook URL because then this message will be sent, basically this message over here will be sent to this webhook and we're then gonna see what is contained inside. To be sure, go back to your make and copy the address and then put it here as the webhook URL and click create. Now, where can you find the alert that you have just created? You go here with the mouse on the right side on the alerts tab, you click on it and you will find your alert over here. I have a lot of alerts, so I have just filtered it for the super trend so that you don't have to get overwhelmed with all of my alerts. And the cool thing is if you hover with your mouse and just leave the mouse there, you see this nice summary of what this alert is all about. So you can see that it has this message, this JSON inside with the placeholders. That's great. You can also see that it will trigger for the super trend strategy. And you can see that it's on the 1 minute time frame, which is also in your title, meaning that it is exactly the way you wanted it to be. Now, what we need to do next is simply wait for a signal to come in for a buy and a sell signal. So let's wait. And over in make, you can see that it's still waiting to receive the first webhook call. So get your coffee and chill a little bit until you have a buy and a sell signal. Cheers.
Okay.
All right, we have gotten 2 alerts. One of them is for buying and one is for selling. Okay, in this case, it's easy because the action is really called buy and sell. But it's not for every strategy the same. That's why when you automate a different strategy, make sure to do the same exercise to see which actions are actually sent over to make. And before we do anything else, we make sure that this alert will not trigger again because we don't want to trade on the 1 minute chart. So I recommend that you actually remove it, click on the remove button and say yes. So it's gone and there is no risk for you messing this up. We're going to create another alert later on the 1 day chart when we are ready with the whole setup. Over in make, it has successfully determined the structure of the payload that we have sent to it directly from TradingView. That's awesome. And that will come very handy because now we can click on the variable names called ticker and action and we can drag and drop them instead of having to type them out. Very nice and very convenient. Click on the OK button and now let's add a module that can react to the webhook being called. But what we want to add is actually something called flow control. So click on the green button, it says tools, and put in a router. So drag and drop a router and it will automatically connect. And you can zoom in and out again by scrolling your mouse up and down. We use this router because we want to put a filter so that it only triggers when BTC USD ticker is being triggered and nothing else, right? So we can click on this small icon here and click on set up a filter. And here we can name it whatever we want. We say filter for BTC USD. It's just a name. And then here in the condition, now it actually knows that we have sent a ticker and an action, right? Because we have waited for the actual signals to come. So we can say the ticker has to be equal to BTC USD, which is the message that has been sent over. You can check that in TradingView. This is the placeholder has been replaced with BTC USD. Now, if you click OK, and now you have the filter over here and it can only accept BTC USD, and that is very nice. The next thing we need to do is to call WunderTrading, which will then call our exchange. Let's go back to our diagram to remember how the setup looks like. So make is now what we're setting up, and we need to now figure out how to call WunderTrading. Well, for that, we need to go to WunderTrading, actually log in and create something called the Signal Bot, because that will give us the payload that we need to send it so that it knows what has to be done, right? So next thing we do is we prepare make, but then we go to WunderTrading and set up the bots as well over there. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to add two calls, one for buying and one for selling. And those will be HTTP calls. So type in HTTP and click on it here and click on make a request. And do the same for the other one. Actually, it's already here as favorite, make a request. All right, so they're not yet filled in properly, but what we can already do is we can set up filters. So click again on the filter. Let's say this is the buying filter. Set up a filter, buy, and here you say action and you say buy, right? Because that's exactly what we've gotten from TradingView. Click OK, and then here set up a filter, sell, and then say action equals to sell, and click OK. Now, whenever this webhook is called, and that will happen from TradingView, then it has to be for BTC USD. And whenever the action is buy, then it will call this HTTP method. And when it's sell, it will call this other one. And in order to know how to fill in these two HTTP methods, we need to go to WunderTrading, create a trading bot, and that trading bot will have a buy and a sell signal. And we will take that and put them here so they can actually trigger trades on your exchange. Let's do it. All right, go to wundertrading.com and log in. I will do that again in hyperspeed. All right, I've created a new account so that it looks exactly as it would look on your side. They have just launched Coinbase support, cool for them. Let's click all these things away, especially this one. And keep in mind that you have a 7-day pro plan. And if that plan runs out after 7 days and you did not upgrade for a subscription, your trading bots will not be running, okay? It's quite obvious, but keep in mind that your stuff has to be subscribed and running and everything has to be turned on. Otherwise, of course, the signals will be ignored. But that's nice. We have a 7-day pro plan. So first we need to connect an exchange and then we can create a bot. So a lot of stuff to do. What we can do now is we can either create some kind of paper trading, which is actually a good idea. You can create a paper trading account, but I promised you that you can actually trigger real trades buying and selling on your exchange. So that's why we're going to click on the spot account. Don't click on anything else, futures or something like that, because you do not want to do margin, okay? Never do margin trading, especially not with trading bots. So click on spot and then click on ByBit. And what happens here is that you have to go to ByBit and basically create an account or a sub account if you already have a ByBit account. Let me give you the best practice because I've done this already a lot, and I will create a sub account with you and connect it to this account here, to this WunderTrading account, and it will be very easy to do. And it's also the best practice if you have trading bots to separate them in separate accounts. Now, ByBit is nice because they have sub accounts and you can use them in a very easy way. So now let's go to ByBit and create the API key and secret so we can actually connect this exchange over here, okay? Okay, so go to bybit.com. There is also a link down below if you want to support this channel. It's an affiliate link, and make sure to log in, okay? You don't have to do much, just log in and then go to your profile picture up here and then click on switch and create account. By the way, you might have to do verification or something like that. Sure, do that. That's something that you have to do anyway. And then click on manage. And here you will see all of your sub accounts listed nicely. As you can see, I already have a few, and please ignore the amount of money that I have put into this account because I am doing algorithmic trading, like I said. So all of these things are automated for me. Anyway, go and click on create sub account up here and click on standard sub account, and then unified trading is totally fine. And now you have to give it a name, and that name has to be unique across the whole ByBit, unfortunately, because it's kind of a username which theoretically you could log in with, but you don't need to have a password because you can just just click on switch into this account. The thing I recommend is to use your initials. Sadly, we cannot use any spaces or underscores or something like that. So initials, and then you have to give it the name of the strategy that you're actually automating on this sub-account, because this way you recognize which strategy is in which sub-account. So in this case, it is super trend and it is BTC. All right, let's click confirm. And I have created this sub account now, which is awesome. And the next thing I need to do is to create an API key for it. So click on management here under API, and here click on create new key and click on system generated key. And now click on connect to third-party applications, because WunderTrading is actually in the list. So actually select it, WunderTrading. And this way your API key will not expire, which is great. Then scroll down, click on read write, and then click on unified trading, and it selects all of the right options. And that's it. And now click on submit. Okay, now you need to verify whatever it asks you to do. Just do it so that you get your keys. And now you have received your API key and your API secret. By the way, the API secret, you can only see it one time, which is right now. And afterwards, there is no way to get this information again. So don't close this window until you're ready with the setup. So click on the copy button for the API key and go back to WunderTrading and put it here in the API field. And then go back to ByBit and copy the secret. And again, put it here in WunderTrading as the secret. Now also give your account a name in WunderTrading, which is the same name as you have chosen for your sub account. Okay, so let's click on understood here because we are actually done. And let's go back to the sub accounts. This is the menu item here on the left. And let's copy this name here, just copy it and go back to WunderTrading and name it exactly the same, right? So that your exchange account on ByBit and on WunderTrading is exactly the same to have an easy life. And click on connect and exchange. Now it will do some checks and so on, and it should be working out perfectly fine. But as you can see, there are no assets on this sub account, which will not allow us to create something called the signal bot, because the bot simply would not allow to connect an exchange that has no assets. Okay, so I will put a little bit of USDC on it so that it lets me create this signal bot. The way I do that, I go back to ByBit, to my sub accounts, and I can actually click the transfer button, and I can click on across sub accounts, and I can basically move money around between the accounts. And let's see, where do I have some money lying around? Actually, let me go out. Let's take it from the Solana account. I'm pretty sure there is USDC. Okay, so I want to go to the Solana account. This is this one here, Unified Trading. And let's pick, does it have USDT? USDT, that's fine as well. And now I want to send it to the Supertrend BTC Unified Trading account, because that's the one we use for trading. Funding would not work, okay? Funding is just for receiving and sending money out, but you need unified trading, right? So let's send, I don't know, like $100, and let's click confirm, and it will take just a few seconds and it will have the funds inside of it. And now I can go back to WunderTrading and click this refresh button here and click it again, because that's how it likes it. And then you see now I have 100 USDT in the account. Perfect. Now let's click on Signal Bot here in the menu on the left side, and let's click on create a bot. Actually, it already clicked that for me somehow, but create a bot, and then TradingView bot create. And here I would give it exactly the same name as we have given the exchange itself, right? So again, I go here, I just copy this name here and I put it over here. And now I can choose the exchange to use. There is only one that I have, so ByBit, and then the sub account that I want to use. Take care, right? Because here you can have multiple, but I have only one. So it has selected the Supertrend BTC sub account. Perfect. I can choose the trading pair. Obviously, I will take BTC USDT because that's the asset I have. I've used the T. So meaning that the next buy signal will convert my USDT to BTC. And by the way, the time frame here, I usually put it on the 1 day because that's also the chart I have in TradingView. It doesn't really matter, but you know, just for completeness reasons. Then TradingView alert is fine. Market is fine. So it should buy in that moment and not wait. Position size 100%. The cool thing about this, that you have a sub account, is that it can 100% convert USDT into Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin sell all the Bitcoin from there into USDT. That means that gives you another benefit, meaning that when you have Bitcoin somewhere else and you want to put it in the custody of this bot, you can just send it to the sub account and the bot would just sell 100% of the Bitcoin whenever it's time to sell. Okay, so that's really cool. That's what I do. So 100%. Then max positions 1, that's a safety measure because some bots trigger multiple positions. I'm not a fan. Definitely max positions 1, and definitely you have to uncheck keep my positions open, otherwise the 100% selling and buying would not work. Okay, so having done that, click on create bot and save and wait for the signal. Okay, don't yet send any signal to the exchange. Okay, you have created it. Now go and edit it again. Click on edit, because you need these messages to be able to put them into make. Ta-da! Finally we can connect the dots, right? So let's go back here to our diagram. If you remember, and let me get rid of all these lines here. So if you remember, we have now make, which is not fully set up because we needed to know what WunderTrading wants so that we can actually call it properly. And now we know what it wants, which is it wants us to send the messages to this webhook URL, and it wants us to send one of these messages. I will show you which ones, so that it knows, should I go long, buy, or should I go short, sell. In this case, it's for us, it's selling, because on the spot account you cannot go short anyway. So we're going to use the enter long message and the enter short message to sell 100% of the assets on the account. And now we can take that and go to make it happen. Okay, haha, good joke, right? So next thing, copy this webhook URL. You can also click this button here and go to make, and you see now here you can put the URL, which is the WunderTrading alerts endpoint, and put it to a post message, because you have to put a body, a payload. And then basically go to the body type and put raw, and now the content type will be just text, really, and the request content will be the enter long message. So that's for buying. Is that the buying branch? Yes, it's the buying branch. So here I put the enter long message and I click save. I click OK. And then here I have to do pretty much the same, but instead I have to take the enter short message. So let's do that again. Here, post. Then I have to click on body type is raw. Content type is just text. And here I copy the enter short message. Copy that and put it as the request content. Click OK. Okay, so now what happens is that, again, right, you have the filter when the ticker is BTC USD, right? And it is either buy, the action is either buy, or the action is sell, then it will go into the right one. And when it is buy, then it will send the enter long message, right? For longing, going long, meaning buy, and then enter short, meaning sell everything that is on that account. Perfect. So let's save this one. Click on save here. It might ask you to give it a name. By the way, I would give it pretty much the same name as you have given it here in the exchange account, because why not call it exactly the same to not be confused ever, and then click save. Okay. So your scenario is ready. Now let's go back to see all the scenarios. Actually click here on scenarios just to make sure that your scenario is also turned on. And you see here that mine is not turned on. So click on the button to turn it on. Otherwise it will ignore the webhooks that are coming in. Okay, so Supertrend BTC is turned on. If you click on it again, you will see the scenario, and that will trigger your signal bot over here, which will then trigger your real exchange to buy and sell Bitcoin into USDT. All right, pretty cool stuff, by the way. I believe the best video when it comes to trade automation without coding. So make sure to like and subscribe if you want more stuff like that. And if you for some reason care about better trading strategies that make more money and lose less, then well, there is a link down below. Of course, I'm a professional in this and I have my own trading strategies. If you want to get access, let me know. You can contact me easily. But until then, let's finish your setup. So next thing, because you have basically set up following, right? You have set up this and this as well, because it's now connected. But now you need to do the last tiny thing, which is to set up a proper alert to trigger make. As you remember, we deleted that alert because it was on the 1 minute chart, which is not what we want. Now we're going to set it up on the 1 day chart and let it loose and see what happens. Let's do it. All right, back where we started in TradingView. So make sure you are on the 1 day chart. Click on the small arrow over here and click on the 1 day chart. All right, now let's scroll out a little bit and make sure before you set up any trading alert that you check the performance. The performance here is what we had before as well, 6,400% from the beginning of Bitcoin trading history with a max drawdown of 15%. Yes, it did not outperform the asset, but whatever, it made a lot of money, okay? But if you see some other numbers here, you might have the wrong setup. So let's say you're on the 1 hour chart and you see something like that, then if you set up an alert for that, you will get that performance, most likely, right? So don't do that. Something is wrong. You may be on the wrong chart, you may be on the wrong asset. So make sure that the performance you see is the one that you want on the time frame and the chart that you're on right now. Okay, now you click on the add alert button like we did before, and you give it a name. Remember, the name starts with the name of the strategy. So in this case, it's called super trend. Then we put the asset that we're trading, BTC, and then the time frame, 1 day. Again, you delete all of the message and you put the message that is down in the video description, which is the JSON with the placeholders. You put it here, and then you go to the notifications and you make sure that you're sending this notification to the right scenario that you have in Make. Now let's copy it again just to be sure that that's the right one, because you can have multiple of those if you go nuts and you also automate Ethereum, Solana, Matic, and so on. Okay, so click on the Bitcoin one and then click on the webhook and click on copy address to clipboard. Just to be sure we're sending it to the right webhook. Delete this, put it there. And thinking about it, by the way, you can also put here the name of the exchange account again, so that you always know which account is actually connected to the whole thing. And this name is everywhere, which is good, right? Okay, so we have set up everything and we click create. Now you can see the alert is set up, and the next signal that you can expect in this case is a buy signal, right? Because the last signal was a sell signal, so the next one will be a buy signal, right? So quite cool. Just keep in mind that this alert will not be open-ended, most likely not for you, because that's a quite expensive feature from TradingView. So every 2 months, because you can put the alert to end in the future and you can put it to be valid for 2 months, okay? So do that, click on the date, click on set and so on, and then save it so that the alert is always active. If the alert is not active, then of course it will not be sent to Make, and then it will not be sent to WunderTrading, and then it will not be sent to your exchange. Okay, so your whole job now, if you want to run such an automation, is to update your alert in TradingView every 2 months. So put something in your calendar to make sure you don't forget that, and then you need to make sure that your scenario in Make is also active and working, right? And then you need to make sure that you have a proper subscription for WunderTrading, because once this pro plan will expire in 6 days, in this case, it will not trigger anything on ByBit, okay? And ByBit, you don't need to do anything because this API key is actually a key that does not expire. Let me actually click here on management. And here you can see that it says days to expiration permanent. Right? Great stuff. By the way, I will delete this API key, so you cannot use this secret to trade my 100 USDT. Also, you wouldn't have any benefit from doing so in the first place. Man, that was a long setup. But if you think about it, zoom out a little bit, you have just automated your money and it can make money for you while you're doing other things. The only thing you need to do is to update the freaking TradingView alert every 2 months. I mean, come on, right? If this is not no code at its best, then I don't know. And also, if you don't fuck this up, this setup, then I have just made you a lot of money. So make sure to subscribe, to like, and to get in touch if you want to know more about trade automation. On this channel, I will be talking more about this stuff simply because I got hardcore into crypto and I know that you can make money with automation. Michael, what about the bonus content? Oh yeah, the bonus content, right? Okay, check this out. The trading strategies on TradingView that you find and that you can automate now because you've watched the whole video through, right? They will be okay, but you will find issues with them because that's why they're free, okay? Because they're not the best. If you want to get access to one of the best strategies on the planet for cryptocurrencies, which is what I have developed, then you can get access to this strategy. And because you have watched the video until the freaking end, which shows me that you really care about this topic and you really want to know how it works, and because you have done all of that, you will get 20% off if you want to get access, and if you get accepted, because I have a limit of 1,000 people and people have to be qualified. That's a different topic. So click down below and apply. And when you apply to have a call with me to get qualified for getting access to the strategies, then put in schnitzel, okay? Schnitzel, you know, the food, all right? And put it there that I know that you come from this part of the video and I know to give you 20% off, all right? So see you very soon. Make sure to subscribe. There will be way more content about trade automation. Crypto is making people a lot of money. All right, that's it. Enough talking. Now you go and apply what you learned in this video, and I see you very soon in the next video. Cheers.